We're going to install Python on our Mac, and the first thing we're going to have to do is to go to the Python homepage. And so we'll bring up a web browser. In this case I'm using Safari, and I could use Firefox or any other web browser that might be available, but Safari is perfectly fine and works great on the Mac. www.python.org is the main homepage for the Python programming language, and if you look over here to the left you can see that there are links for both version 2.6 and for the new version 3.1. We're going to be installing version 3.1, so we're going to hit the quick links, and you can see here different releases that are available, different systems that are available, but this is the Python 3.1 release page. And if we go down to the bottom here, we can see the different download formats. We can download source, we can download Windows installers, or to make our life real easy on the Mac, we have the Mac disk image. And so all we have to do is click on that, and if I want to see the download window, I can go up here and click downloads, and you can see now that the Python 3.1 disk image is downloading. It's going to take a few seconds here for this to come all the way down. And I'm going to let this install process work in real time. I'm not going to shorten it up or edit anything, just so you can see sort of the realistic process as it continues. Once this disk image is downloaded, the nice thing about it is that we can very quickly start the installation process. So we're just about finished now. There we go. The Mac is verifying the disk image and automatically opens. It knows that this is an installation package, and so it opens up the mounted disk image, and you can see there are some text files related to some documentation and so on, but it's this package manager that we're really interested in. If we simply double click on that, we automatically start the Python installer, and typically it's going to be the case that when we install Python we're simply going to be using all the defaults. And so yes, we have the proper operating system. It tells us what it's going to install. We'll continue. Yes, we're going to agree to the licensing arrangements. We want to install on our Macintosh hard drive. So we'll just click on that and click install. Not going to change any locations. It's going to ask me to add my administrator password for this particular machine. And now the installation process has begun. And it doesn't take very long, and there we go. So now all we have to do is find where the installation occurred. I'm going to close out. Actually, I'm going to remove the disk image there. And I'm going to go to the Finder window, and I'm going to go to the Applications. And if I look down the Applications, I should now see a Python 3.1. There it is, Python 3.1. And you can see that in Python 3.1 there are a couple of different entries. One is called idle. Idle is the integrated development environment, and that's what we will most of the time be using. And the other here is simply the Python launcher, which is going to launch the Python shell. Let's just test this out to make sure it's going to work. So let's start idle, and you can see it's an application. Double click on that, and here's idle. And of course idle brings up by default a Python shell. We can see the three angle brackets. We can see this is Python 3.1 in its final release build, and looks like everything is functioning okay. Print hello. Everything looks like it's working fine. So Python would appear to be installed, and I can quit idle, and now it's time to start programming in Python.